All right, so this next technique here, it's pretty advanced. It's an exceptional technique, but I've been submitted with it, so I always remember it for the effect alone, and it really got me. It wasn't situations where I really got mad at this. And I never forgot it. So this is inverted omoplata. So inverted omoplata, tricky position to get to, but if you know the crucifix, is very, very similar. So I'll start with you know, far side wrist control, going over the top here and bringing that arm in. Always careful when you do that you don't get tilted over to the side. So maintain a low center of gravity on this side here. Otherwise, he's going to do Grammy style rows all day long. This hand here, you could attack the neck, but really the neck has nothing to do with what's going to happen here. It's all about taking control of the knee or arm with your legs. And when I take control here, in the crucifix, it was not mandatory that you switched legs. For this one, it is. I do have to do what I just did there, which is to pass from the left leg, in this case the leg that's closer to the head, to the other one. So when I trap the arm, I just pass it to the other side. And when I pass it, I immediately have to pinch this thing here. So I cannot let it here because you will extend right there. It's kind of gone. So when I get this here, you can sit on it until you figure out what to do next. Okay? Now, what to do next here? You're going to roll. So when you do roll, just be careful. Number one, if he doesn't know what's going on, two things might happen that are bad for him, not bad for me. But number one, his neck might get caught. So if you're in his position, be wise and tuck your chin in, unless you want to hurt your neck. Number two, if he doesn't know what's going on here, I'll take the, you know, this is what happened to me. The guy took a roll. I tried to not to go with him, and my shoulder almost went out of the socket. So what happens here is that I bring the shoulder here, and now you can wait for the pressure to come. So what will happen is that I'm going to bring the near shoulder down, and I'm going to start rolling, but I'm maintaining. So slow that down here. Yeah, you can go back to your knees. So look at what's happening here. Because of the lock that I have here, it's almost like a Kimura position, but a Kimura that I'm cranking all the way through. So if he doesn't go forward, he is going to get hurt right now or tap immediately without rolling. So chances are he will roll with me, and I end up with this. Okay? So this is the end position that I end up with, which is interesting since there's a way I can, from side control up or from north-south, I can get this kind of technique here. But anyways, I got a triangle on his arm, so I'm controlling right here. How do I finish this? Very simple. I lift my hips off the ground by standing up to base. So I got this foot and the opposite elbow. So raise your hips, and I'll drag the leg through slowly, okay? So it doesn't take much. So ride it here. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to just do it all on the same side so it makes it easier for you. Attack the neck if you want just to fade. Eventually, you got to open that arm up. Once you get the arm, you got to pass it to the back leg. So I already did the pass there. You keep this tight. I'm keeping it tight. You can do it a couple of ways. You can squeeze your thighs together. That keeps the arm in there. Or you can sit back like this here for the time being. But what I would recommend is as soon as you pass it, you just go for it. And as you're going, you triangle it so that when you land, it's already triangled here. Now, flatten him out. You can control the leg if it makes you feel better, but it really doesn't make a difference. He's not going anywhere here. Raise your hips and go up. At this point, if he extends, it really doesn't do much for him because it's just going to be a faster tap. It's going to turn into an arm bar. So he can choose now whether he taps from the shoulder or if he extends right there. All I'm doing is adjusting this here. Still get the same situation. So you got all kinds of interesting scenarios where as long as you can, say for side control, and I expose this near arm, you know, so which will be, like say you start from side control here, you know, this will be one path. As long as I got this, you know, I could sit and get something like that. And I'll be back into the same scenario where we were. Okay. You can do it from north-south too. Same situation here. Just shoot the leg through, and now, you know, just push it the other way there. So this here, if it happens in Americana, it's not going to happen for me. So I got to force it this way here. Of course, you can tell it's not the same success ratio. You have to kind of be forceful, but you still could do it. Back to where we were from turtle, which is how it happened. So right here, control the wrist if you need to, open it up. pass it to the side. Another option that I forgot to mention here of keeping the arm in place. So use your arm. It's probably the easiest one. I know I haven't mentioned. So you could guide that arm if you're not, if you don't have that kind of dexterity to do this fast, just guide that wrist back, put it in there, sit on it, control the elbow so it doesn't go away, push off that foot, and go. You could also hit a choke with it, or you can keep the hand in there, apply pressure. Slow on this one because this one is quite a crank. Okay?